Ah, Venice! The city of canals, romance, and shady loans? That's right, folks. Today we're diving into a story where moneylenders are dead serious. Choosing your spouse is as random as playing Deal or No Deal. And yes, a pound of flesh is actually on the line. Buckle up for The Merchant of Venice by none other than William Shakespeare. Yup, just in case you ever need to weigh a pound of flesh. Gross, right? So, our story kicks off with Antonio, a guy who's got everything but a smile on his face. Seriously, someone give this man a hug. Antonio's a big-time merchant in Venice, but his money is all tied up in ships. He's sad, though he's not quite sure why. Maybe he just needs a vacation. Anyway, his bestie, Bassanio, the charming yet financially clueless one, comes running to him. Why? Because Bassanio's got his eye on the lovely Portia, a super-rich heiress living in Belmont. But there's a catch. He needs money to woo her in style. But there's a problem. Antonio is cash poor because his ships are still out at sea. So what does he do? He tells Bassanio, "Hey buddy, go ask one of the local moneylenders. I'll back you up." That's how they end up at Shylock's doorstep. Enter Shylock, the infamous Jewish moneylender who's been nursing a grudge against Antonio. Why, you ask? Oh, just because Antonio has a habit of publicly trash-talking Shylock and lending out money for free, ruining his business. Still, Shylock agrees to lend Bassanio 3,000 ducats on one simple condition. If Antonio can't pay back the loan on time, Shylock gets a pound of his flesh. Yep, straight up human beef. Antonio's all, "Yeah, no worries, my ships will be back by then." Spoiler alert, bad decision. Meanwhile, over in Belmont, Portia is dealing with her own set of problems. Her late father left a bizarre will. Any guy who wants to marry her has to pick the right casket from 3 gold, silver, or lead. Sounds simple, right? Wrong, because these caskets come with cryptic inscriptions that make you second-guess everything. Oh great, another guy choosing a casket. Who's it gonna be this time? Let's hope he has at least read the instructions. First up, the Prince of Morocco chooses the gold casket, because obviously gold equals love, right? Wrong. The gold casket contains a skull and a scroll that basically says, "Nice try, buddy." Then comes the Prince of Aragon, who picks the silver casket. Nope, try again. Finally, our guy Bassanio shows up and chooses the lead casket, which, surprise, surprise, is the winning one. He's rewarded with Portia's hand in marriage, and the two live happily ever after. Or do they? Because back in Venice, Shylock has had it. Not only did his daughter Jessica run off with Antonio's friend Lorenzo and a bunch of his money, but Antonio's ships have all sunk. Yep, the guy's broke. And now Shylock wants his pound of flesh. So this wild roller coaster of love, money, and questionable legal agreements? It all comes from this bad boy, The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. The bard sure knows how to keep you on your toes. Caskets, cash, and courtroom drama all in one play. Let's talk about this story for a minute. On the surface, it's a love story mixed with a legal thriller, kind of like If the Bachelor Met Judge Judy. But Shakespeare, being the genius he is, packed this play with a lot of deeper stuff. First off, there's the whole mercy versus justice debate. I mean, Portia basically walks into the courtroom disguised as a lawyer, looks Shylock in the eye, and says, "How about a little mercy?" Shylock, though, is like, "Nah, I want my flesh." Then there's the theme of prejudice. Shylock, as a Jewish character, faces constant hatred and mistreatment from the other characters, especially Antonio. It's an intense look at how society treated outsiders in Shakespeare's time. But even Shylock himself isn't innocent. His demand for Antonio's flesh is ruthless. Shakespeare shows how deep-rooted prejudice and revenge can destroy a person. And then, of course, you have the witty wordplay. Shakespeare is the king of clever dialogue. Whether it's the banter between lovers or the high-stakes courtroom battle, he keeps things entertaining. Plus, Portia's big "the quality of mercy" speech, iconic. And let's not forget our man, William Shakespeare. This guy wrote comedies, tragedies, histories, you name it. Born in 1564, he basically defined what we think of as classic literature today. The Merchant of Venice is one of his most famous works, and it's still debated, performed, and studied all over the world. Plus, it gave us one of the best courtroom scenes ever. Take that, Law and Order. So what's the takeaway from all this? Don't take out loans from people who hate you. Don't judge a book or a casket by its cover. And maybe just avoid any legal agreements involving your actual flesh. I hope you enjoyed this crazy ride through The Merchant of Venice. If you did, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe for more bookish adventures with a twist. Until next time, may your choices always be better than gold.